Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're in Buckley Homestead, which is in Lowell, Indiana. It's the home of a World War II reenactment that they hold every year here. It's pretty much a living history of the World War II era. We're going to take a walk around the park today and see what's going on. Let's go ahead and get started.
Buckley Homestead is a national park located in Lowell, Indiana. It's home to the annual World War II reenactment that takes place every spring at the park. The reenactment takes place over a 2-day period with regular battles taking place between Allied and Axis forces. Reenactors are spread out over several acres and have camps set up for visitors to tour. Visitors are encouraged to ask questions and interact with the reenactors. It doesn't take much imagination to feel like you're stepping back 70 years in time. If you're a gun nut like I am, you'll feel like a kid in a candy store when you see all the period firearms on display. Most are real firearms converted to fire blanks, but some are purpose-built blank guns. The first thing to catch my attention this year was the presence of an original, fully functional STG-44 rifle, the Sturmgewehr, the world's first assault rifle and one of the most prolific weapons of World War II.
This is the STG-44. It's also known as the Sturmgewehr. This is the world's first assault rifle, manufactured in Nazi Germany and used towards the end of the war. This rifle is a real working STG-44. The unique thing about this rifle is the fact that this is not a demilled rifle then rebuilt. This is an all original working rifle. It fires a 7.92 by 33 millimeter Kurtz cartridge. This is also an NFA item, meaning that it is a fully automatic rifle. It's actually a select fire rifle. This rifle was manufactured late in the war. The owner of the rifle tells me in the last 60 days of the war. It's manufactured by Hanel. This rifle is all sheet metal with a wood stock. The charging handle is here on the left-hand side of the rifle. You pull that to the rear to charge the weapon. It has a gas system with a gas piston and rod that rides up here, much like the AK-47 rifle. As I mentioned, it is a select fire weapon, so it is capable of both semi-automatic and fully automatic fire. On fully automatic, it fires right around 550 rounds a minute. It's a very slow cyclic rate. It feeds from this 30-round steel magazine. The rifle has a wooden stock and wooden grip inserts on the pistol grip. It has this dust cover that can be closed to protect the rifle from the ingress of debris. It has standard AK-style sights, which are forward on the receiver. It has a simple hooded post here in the front. Also, to select between safe and fire, you have a lever that's accessible by the shooting thumb. To select between semi-automatic and fully automatic, there's a button that you can depress from either side of the rifle. Let's field strip the Sturmgewehr. First of all, you want to make the weapon safe. Drop the magazine out, check, make sure that the weapon's empty, and put it on safe. It has a pin in the stock, much like an HK. You just pop that pin out, and a butt stock will come off with the recoil spring. Now you can hinge the pistol grip assembly down, and you can pull the bolt out of the weapon. The bolt is in two pieces. You have a bolt and a carrier. This is the carrier, and this is the bolt.
The STG-44 was in service from September of 1943 through May of 1945. 425,977 rifles were built during the war. The STG-44 took a huge step forward in military small arms design and thinking. It represents a radical departure from conventional military wisdom and how wars were to be fought, and it would influence small arms development throughout the 20th century.
I got the STG-44 apart with relative ease. Let's try putting it back together again. First, I'm going to take the bolt and the carrier, slide that in, line up the gas piston with the gas tube. That's kind of the trickiest part. Push the bolt forward, and the bolt and carrier will slide right in. Hinge up the trigger assembly, put the recoil spring in, stick that in the butt stock, put it together with the pin. And function check. It's back together again.
take history of the war very seriously. They meticulously recreate every detail for the audience. Everything from the clothing they wear to the weapons they carry and the food they eat is a near-perfect recreation of the items used during the war. While checking out one of the German camps, we came across a German soldier who was willing to tell us about his uniform and some of the gear a World War II German soldier would carry.
Hello, I'm Adam Toring. I'm with 2nd Panzer Division, a reenactment unit based out of Chicago, Illinois. I'm here with my friend Andy, and we're going to talk about German Grenadiers in 1944, the end of the war of World War II. I'm carrying an MP40 machine pistol. It's 9mm. This has been blank adapted to be used during reenactments. They can be a little temperamental. The blanks, because of the blowback system, occasionally don't fire the way we would like them to. So I jokingly sometimes don't shoot at all when I'm at reenactments and just pose with the very expensive weapon, which is fun too. I'm carrying equipment for a squad leader, a German Panzer Grenadier squad leader. I only have one set of pouches and my map case, and then I have my pistol. My friend Andy here is fully kitted out as a enlisted grenadier. He's carrying the 98K rifle, which is 7.92 or 8mm. He has two sets of pouches in the front, K98 pouches, Y-straps, which hold the pouches there. On his back, he has the gas mask canister. This is the gas sheet bag, which inside of it is a cellophane sheet. Underneath his arm here, he has his E-tool and his bayonet. And that, when mounted, they would sometimes take these off. You'll also see pictures or images of them wearing the E-tool in the belt for close combat if need be. On the other side of Andy, can you spin, please? He has his bread bag here, and this is his canteen.
As you can probably imagine, the largest group of reenactors portray American forces. You'll find a large contingent of Army grunts and airborne troops. You will see a small contingent of Marines and a few sailors roaming around, but this reenactment is mostly about the European theater and the role the U.S. Army and German forces played in the war. We found a number of U.S. vehicles at the event, including Sherman tanks, jeeps, and scout vehicles. It was amazing to see these old war horses still moving around under their own power and to see them take to the battlefield.
This is an M5A1. It's a light tank that was used during World War II. Its common name is the Stuart tank, and we represent the 70th Tank Battalion. You see the Soixante-dix, which is 60 plus 10, French for 70th, and it was used, that was their mascot. This was a light tank battalion, and it was used, they were in North Africa and then traveled to the Normandy landings and all the way in through Germany to the end of the war. This particular tank has rubber track, so it's more versatile. It has a maximum speed of 50 miles per hour, but probably only does about 3 or 4 gallons to the mile, so it uses a lot of fuel. They used them for reconnaissance, getting in and out of a location, kind of to see that it has a 37mm gun, which cannon, and on the other side we have a 30 caliber machine gun, coaxial, with the 37mm gun, and up on top we have a 50 caliber machine gun that would have been used in stationary events.
When most people think of World War II, they think of massive tanks, modern aircraft, machine guns, and mechanized infantry. What many people don't realize is that the Germans still had horse-mounted cavalry during the war, and horses played a major role in the German war effort.
We are attached to the 353rd Wehrmacht Infantry, and we are their mounted reconnaissance unit. And basically, all regiments had cavalry units, and the cavalry in the Second World War was horses, motorcycles, and bicycles. There were whole regiments of German troops that were on bicycles. Bicycles, you can go a whole lot farther all day than you can walking. You can go a whole lot farther every day on a motorcycle than you can walking. And of course the same thing with the horse. And this was all mechanized. The whole premise was to move as quickly as possible. The old warfare where you fought 1 or 2 battles a year, regrouped, and then fought again was over. This was blitzkrieg. They just simply overran the other country's armies as fast as possible. The Germans bought 10 million horses between 1943 and 1945. The winter of 41-42 in Russia, they lost 750,000 horses. Most of their supplies, 70% of their supplies, was on horse-drawn vehicles. The blitzkrieg that you see, that Hitler wanted you to see, was of course the mechanized war with the tanks and the armored divisions racing across Poland and racing across Russia. And they minimized the use of the horses, but the Germans used their horses all the way through the war. Aerial pilots in Normandy said if they saw a convoy on the road and it was all trucks, they pretty much would assume it was an American convoy. If they saw a convoy on the road and there were horse-drawn units along with trucks, or if it was an all horse-drawn vehicles, they knew it was a German unit and they'd straighten. The horse was the transportation. If you blew up the truck, the convoy didn't move. If you killed the horse, the convoy didn't move.
To keep an army fighting, you need food. Lots of food. The reenactors don't gloss over this important detail, and while visiting the German camp, we were able to learn something about German field kitchens.
This is our original World War II German field kitchen. It was produced in 1939 and went through the entire war, basically without a scratch. And after the war, when the Germans retreated, a Dutch farmer rolled it into his barn, and there it sat for 65 years. And we were lucky enough to get it. It needed very little in the way of restoration, and now it cooks for German soldiers again after, 60, 70 years after the war. It's basically a large cook kettle on wheels. This is the coffee kettle. It'll serve about 225 men. There's always a hot meal and a cup of hot coffee for the German Armed Forces. Coffee comes from the spigot here. These fire boxes are what heat the kettle. Either wood or coal fire in there. Heats the cook pot. These are Königsberger meatballs that we've just pretty much finished up. It's a recipe right out of the field kitchen manual from 1944. And we're pretty fortunate to have this in the reenacting community here. We're the 2nd Panzer Division. This is what the German soldier actually ate out of. They were always guaranteed at least one hot meal a day. And when they couldn't get to the field kitchen, they'd run it up in containers to the front lines. So as long as they were able to do it, they got hot food to the troops in good form.
I always enjoy attending the World War II reenactment held every year in Lowell, Indiana. For me, it's like stepping back in time, walking through history. World War II was the impetus behind many modern small arms designs, firearms we take to the range on Saturday afternoons with friends and family. By going to these events, I feel like I'm paying tribute to the brave men and women of that era who sacrificed so much for our nation and for our freedoms. A quick Google search will help you locate reenactments in your area. I highly recommend you attend at least one event this year if you can. I believe you'll walk away thoroughly impressed. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for the subscriptions. We'll talk to you guys soon.